Yep, we will be playing all the games, including a game 3 if necessary. This is a best of 3. Kipp won his first round matchup against. I'm actually forgetting. Let me check. Nevdi. And Rossi won his first matchup versus Kelcharge. And as Kipp is the 1 seed, we expect him to have the advantage. But Ross, obviously, a very capable player. I would definitely not count him out in this matchup.
Indeed. I've been watching Ross since he's been playing Metroid Fusion. He came into Super Metroid, the Ranomizer stuff, and he's been really good at it since. Very good runner in both games, I would say. We have Plasma as our first item for Kipp.
That is, a great item. I mean, especially the first one. Kipp actually, he took I think a break from Randomizer for quite a while. He just got back into it in the season 2, but obviously hasn't missed a beat. He's a very excellent 80% runner, so he has the mechanics, and he's kind of shown he's the top tier Randomizer runner now also.
Indeed. Oh, and power bombs. Is our I'm not sure what I call these that location because it's always just checked.
I think just beta missiles.
Oh, beta missiles, that's right.
Yeah. And alpha missiles. Okay, we have missiles. So we will be looking for those supers. Gives both runners the option to take meme round if they wish.
Yes, and knowing Rouse, he really does like taking meme route from what I've seen him do in the past.
Ross is kind of a memer in general, I'd say. So I imagine he's done some preparation for this match. I would not be surprised to see some risks or unusual plays here.
Oh, and there's supers there, so...
Yeah, the early supers is nice. That's makes meme route less likely. Yeah, they're just gonna leave now.
Okay. I think the only thing really separating Kipp and Rossu right now is I noticed that Kipp was doing the moonfall earlier, and Ross has still chosen not to do the moonfall yet in any of his runs.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players that just doesn't have it enabled.
Huh? Yeah, is my voice coming through very well? Alright, there we go. And looks like Kipp is going to go and check Bomb Chorizo. And we get our first Kappa tank.
Yeah, not the greatest find this early, but having one reserve tank, I always say, is somewhat helpful to have.
Especially with the playoff logic requiring only 3 total tanks in order to do the various suitless runs in Norfair.
And Rossu is going to gamble on Gauntlet with those 10 power bombs.
Yeah, indeed has the ammo to do it and get out and probably just go through the back, I think.
And meanwhile, Kipp found the second reserve, a Terminator. Still no actual tank yet. Yeah, and in Major Minor, doing Gauntlet this early is honestly quite risky. It is a time-consuming check, and it's not that likely to have an important item. But this was just one of the risks I was talking about that Rossu was thinking of taking.
Yeah. Ooh, whoa.
Ooh, Rossu takes a dive in the acid. Yeah, he's gonna have to wait out the cycle here.
I was noticing, like, since we already found 2 reserve tanks, this has a less probability of being another reserve tank, and it's screw attack. That's
All
a
right,
pretty
that's
helpful item.
Yeah, probably won't save the time overall, but I think Rossu will be pretty happy with that pickup. It's obviously a very powerful item to get this early in the game.
And to note, if runners only went in there with 1 set of power bombs, they would have been able to get out. I believe it was just an E-tank at the Brinstar Reserve there.
Yep. Kipp now going to check the Edicoon's area. And Seed doing not so well in Supers so far. Kipp still only has 5. Ross remembering to check the Terminator.
And skips it because I think he likes skipping reserves.
Well, hope he remembers the second time. And Kipp finding our Spring Ball validation. Spring Ball is actually a pretty good item in Major Minor, as there are a lot more ways that it could be required progression.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that there were a lot of missiles right here.
Yeah, Kipp's, I think he's one of those players that, again, he's a very smart player, so it just depends on the situation whether he wants to go for charge. I mean, right, here, he would definitely prefer charge beam. Wow, even more missiles. But Kipp would definitely prefer charge beam because he has plasma, and again, he's still sitting on 5 supers, which is really not optimal for any fight.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And Ross did find a second super pack at the Gauntlet escape. So I think, yeah, those are the only supers we've seen so far.
Yeah, and this is a spot where you definitely would want a couple extra supers for the gate glitch. But Kipp, well, he misses it first try, gets it second try.
And a lot of the times our runners are looking for an audio cue for that gate glitch to open because you usually don't see it, so...
And yeah, Wave Gate just had more energy. So the runners will soon be making the big first choice of the game, whether to go up or down Red Tower.
I don't know. Both of our runners are certainly capable of going to Wreck Ship right now and taking care of Phantoon.
Yeah, and
So,
Kipp also still hasn't checked Gauntlet. That's another item that is on his mind.
that's true.
And Kipp has decided to go down. This kind of makes sense. I mean, the ship is very slow and also less likely to hold a good item in Major Minor. And of course, Kipp knows he's the faster runner, so this is more likely going to be a better check, or a better route. And using a super on that Chozo statue is going to have to farm up another one here.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few times where runners have forgotten about that Kraid needs super missiles to enter from the breakable blocks in this room coming up right here. Also in some seeds where power bombs and bombs have been found late, where you need them to get into this location here.
Yeah, and I am not surprised at all that Rossu has chosen to go up tower. And this is where, you know, it's not a big issue, but it's a slight time loss. The fact that he's going up, but he checked Gauntlet early, because he probably would have saved a little bit of time checking Gauntlet later, either right now or after he clears the ship.
Yeah, and from what we've seen going down so far, there hasn't been much. Mostly just E-tanks.
Yeah, Kipp's definitely looking for a Variosuit, since I'm certain he can do a high jumpless lava. Well, pretty sure he can do high jumpless lava dive. So Varia is pretty much opens up everywhere for him.
Okay, and Ross is going for the CWJ to cross the moat. Well, with collecting the ammo, it is possible, but it's a little bit more difficult sometimes getting the timing right after with the item fanfare playing there.
Yeah, and this is one spot where if you're not, you know, a complete expert at it, crossing the moat with this item set is not optimal. But it looks like he's going to go for the spring ball strat now, and he gets it.
Yeah,
Very
nice
clean there.
It's looking like Kipp is having to use missiles for Kraid here.
Yeah, this is a pretty rare. Well, I guess because he only had 5 supers, so he had to use missiles.
Yeah, so.
And unfortunately, it looks like Rossu fell into the ocean late, so that's going to lose quite a bit of time.
Ooh,
While Kipp,
yeah,
third
reserve tank. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, really not much in terms of progression so far, especially for Kipp since he's lacking that screw attack also.
And yeah, this fight is going to be a lot easier for Ross with the screw attack, because during certain phases he can just screw attack through all the fire that Phantoon is going to shoot out. Wave Beam is pretty interesting.
Yep, always great to pick up Wave if you already have Plasma.
That'll make getting to Croc and Meridia a bit easier, instead of having to do the reverse green gate glitch. And with only 5 super missiles, I assume it's pretty much a very good idea for that.
It's a blue gate, so you could use regular missile
gate.
for it.
Oh, that's true. Keep on forgetting about that. Maybe I was thinking about the item behind where X.
Yeah, grapple.
Yeah, grapple. My bad. But then, yeah, you'll still have to use supers for that, regardless.
And Rossu, unfortunately, he missed that Doppler, but should take Phantoon down in just one more round. Oh, and Kipp, unfortunately, runs straight into that Spazer Beam.
And we're going to see a menu right away.
Yep.
And, yeah, Phantoon is down for Ross. And I believe he can do the power bomb jump out of Sponge Bath.
Yeah, he definitely can, but we'll see how many times it takes him, since it's not a very fun thing to have to do. I'm actually a little surprised Kipp didn't save scum the ice beam check, since it's relatively slow. But he's heading over to high jump now.
And speaking of this location where that missile that Kipp just picked up was switched with the location that Ross is going to be checking now.
And finding X-ray, I think Rossu will be mildly happy. I mean, has the charge beam, could be a possible microwave beam. And X-ray is useful in a couple of niche spots.
Oh, and there's Kipp's second pack of supers. And I didn't see, did Kipp take the save?
I don't believe so, but he's totally fine. He has a lot of energy because he has like all the reserves to back him up.
Ooh, Ross almost got it there.
Looks like he's using a slightly different setup than I see with most runners. His powerbomb seemed to be okay, but he's not. Yeah, he's not hitting at the right frame there, and he's gonna have to reset. And meanwhile, Kipp gets over Queen Cack and is starting his Bone Mountain checks now.
Looking like Ross is going for round 2.
Oh,
there
that was good.
goes.
Yep.
Ooh, grapple. Now that'll make checking the rest of Bubble Mountain a bit easier for Kipp. I think normally he can damage boost across the pathway there to check the reserve tank, but grapple is a nice backup for that.
Wow, and unfortunately, it's just the last reserve tank
Oof.
for Rossu. But he can just reset and actually save a little time, since he will get his power bombs back. And the grapple for Kipp is okay. It's not really going to help him that much, but honestly, I'm thinking that could be an indication of a possible suitless Meridia, since we already have a couple of the pieces for that. And I didn't even mention up here that Rossu is not going to be able to obtain the Wreck Ship Reserve item unless speed is at gravity. So I'm certain he'll check it, but this reserve could have something really important that Rossu's not going to be able to obtain.
And we've seen all the reserve tanks, so the only thing that would be Ross wouldn't collect is an E-tank, and there's high jump.
Ouch! That's another part of the suitless. Another piece for suitless too, actually. Well, we'll have to see where speed booster ends up being. Yeah, and I'm also not sure whether Rossu can do high jump plus lava dive.
think I saw him practicing it the other day.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because he definitely wasn't doing it very consistently or like going for it at all in the regular season. And yeah, Wave was another E-Tank.
Yep, Kipp did use that grapple beam to get over here.
Yeah, Rossu undoubtedly, he wants a suit for sure. I mean, a suit or speed booster at this gravity suit location. Maybe charge beam. Charge beam would be pretty useful too.
It's looking like Bubble Mountain was all tanks.
And it is speed. That is a
Oh, wow.
nice pickup.
Oh, wow. That's really good for Ross. Oh, my goodness.
Now, a suit still would have been better, but in Ross's shoes, he for sure wants this, since now able to pick up these high jump boots, and that could be a required item for him to go to lower Norfair. And we're still looking for progression, though, because at this point, we're going to have something at Croc and Meridia or X-Ray. Otherwise, it's going to be a forced suitless Meridia.
There could also... Ross can also now check a Waterway.
Ah, that's true, too, yeah. Waterway is open now.
I imagine Ross is going to go for that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, too. For Ross's sake, he definitely... he definitely does not want Varisuit to be at Croc and Meridia.
Another tank for Kipp.
Yep, Kipp's still looking for any progression, to be honest. All he has is a spring ball.
Oh yeah, Kipp can also check X-Ray, that's right. With the grapple beam. Although I think he... Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kipp is 100% looking for Varisuit right now. And I am... Yep, Rossu's definitely checking Waterway. That is a play you should be making in this situation. The fact that you found speed when your opponent probably didn't go for a early wreck ship means you should make this check. Because otherwise your whole plan doesn't make any sense.
Both of our runners getting their respective blue and green gate glitches at the same time.
And grapple holds. Just another E-Tank. Okay, so this is looking pretty good for Rossu. I mean, again, unless Varia is an X-Ray, which would require... I mean, Kipp has to go back anyway for this. He's gonna have to spend some time. Oh, Rossu, unfortunately, a little too high on the spark.
I was concerned about Ross's health there for a second.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it is just an E-Tank at Waterway, so this check will not pay off. But he does have the items, actually, for X-Ray, too. It is pretty dangerous, but it is another thing that Rossu can consider right now. It's just pretty unfortunate that X-Ray is always annoying because there's no save station that's very close by.
Yeah, I imagine... No, well, Kipp still has some Well, Kipp wouldn't be using the safe station right now, but if Ross was in Kipp's position, I'd believe he would do it. Because the safe station there, I would probably save at the one where the tank is for Meridia entrance.
Oh, no, I was just saying that Rossu's check is a lot harder because he doesn't have grapple.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
But looks like he is going. He's heading toward there. I think Rossu has 2 reserve tanks, maybe. I mean, this is some force spike damage. The risk of checking this location.
Oh, and with the speed booster and high jump, it's a lot easier to get this position, and Ross will be using the spring ball here to finish up the jump.
This is definitely in logic, because of the speed plus high jump. It just needs tanks. Like Ross, actually Ross, I think he does have the tanks too. Yeah, and he gets that spring ball jump up to up here.
Ooh, so
and it's another E-tank.
Oh, that's Mama Turtle then.
Yep. We have a confirmed the suitless Meridia on our hands.
That's going to be better for Kipp then, because Kipp is probably going to go up to the ship.
Well, it depends. I mean, Kipp, like Rossu has routed it better, but of course Rossu would have preferred to find something big at X-Ray or Waterway, because he's gonna have to check everything unless he does the insane gamble and goes straight to Meridia after Kraid, but I don't see that to be very likely.
And I'm just thinking, Kipp can check more of Meridia than Rossu can right now. If Kipp does go to Meridia, he can also check left Sandpit.
Well, Kipp's gonna have to clear the entirety of the ship and Gauntlet. What Ross was doing earlier. So like he's losing time just because of the backtracks. I mean, chat's talking about whether Rossu would go for Mama. I think it's definitely a legitimate play, just because Rossu hasn't found a suit. I think the one thing preventing him is the lack of grapple beam and ice beam, actually, because we know where grapple is, and Rossu is really not going to think that suitless Meridia is required unless he picks up those items.
One thing I've been noticing too is that Kipp has picked up significantly more missiles than Rossu has. And each of those pickups is at least a 7-second fanfare.
Yeah, it's interesting how he's willing to pick up this many. It's up to 65. Like, Kipp could be going for chargeless just because he's known, like, he's had to check so many locations. I don't know. But, like, with only 15 supers, that's still pretty far away from the ammo required.
That's right. And Rossu getting a nice stand-up glitchless Kraid fight. So it was a lot faster than what Kipp had.
Yeah, if Rossu does, chat mentioning also, if Rossu does full clear Norfair, it will be faster. Because he has more items and that speed booster. I mean, I don't know about Gauntlet. If Kipp Kipp will be realizing that suitless Meridia is required. Not having ice is, I don't know, kind of too big of a cost if Botwoon is required. I do not know how good Kipp is at the suitless Crystal Flash clip. And rossu is taking the elevator down after Kraid, so at the very least, he is checking the business center.
And with Speed Booster, he'll be able to get through the Frog Speedway a lot easier than... Well, Kipp couldn't.
Yep. I mean, if both players full clear before suitless Meridia, I do think rossu might take a small edge, just because his checks will be faster.
Oh.
Almost ran into it. Might have thought it was another item, but turns around at the last moment.
I think we're going to be seeing, like, very close to a reverse of what we saw earlier. Kipp and rossu checking the switched items.
Yep, and Kipp's actually going to have to do a sponge bath power bomb strategy too, probably. So we'll see how long he takes to get it. Yeah, Kipp full cleared the Norfair. There were 2 E-tanks there. So Mama Turtle is gonna have to have Ice Beam or one of the suits.
Well, I think left Sandpit is also in logic too.
Not for suitless. Not for suitless.
Not for suitless? Okay.
No. That's only for well, if we're playing Dash Rando, because that's the total logic.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Kipp was a little bit low on that powerbomb jump. That looks much better. So Kipp does save some time getting a sponge bath faster than rossu did. Well, I think just given how late, this is what happens a lot, like in slow progression seeds. When it's already this late into the seed, you just kind of think, well, the seed is kind of slow, so might as well have to check everything.
And it looks like Kipp did not save, otherwise he wouldn't be going back this way. And I saw Ross take the save before checking this item, so I'm thinking he'll probably reset after seeing the major here. Or not.
I hope rossu saves some time by save scumming Croc when he's there, since the Croc checks are not very fast. I mean, I think rossu is a little saved though, because it's a full suitless Meridia and not like or having Varia, not gravity. Because Kipp is pretty comfortable clearing Meridia with only Varia suit, but he still definitely needs to find that Varia for Ridley's lair. Kipp seeing those boots, but will be happy very shortly to know that he can pick up those high jump boots. Although, to be fair, I mean, he's checked so many items, he knows that there has to be progression coming up very shortly.
Yeah, the only other locations Kipp wouldn't be able to... Well, hasn't checked right now are Gauntlet and Mama Turtle.
Oh, and Waterway, actually, because he needs to pick up his speed here. Shack Tool is actually... Well, Shack Tool is never in logic, suitless. But if you have gravity, it's actually in logic with only high jump or spring ball. You don't need both anymore for the playoffs. And of course, that's assuming of a grapple beam.
Thinking Ross is going to be setting up for a Crystal Flash soon, or not, because there's an E-Tank there. It's looking like Ross is going down to Croc.
Yeah, it's just... I think it's actually not a bad gamble to skip Croc here, but again, because it's just a last location situation, Ross just doesn't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I would imagine... I really think he would want to take a save. And...
Yeah, and it's the same thing again with the save. He's like, saving would save a little time, but again, he might just be thinking, well, Croc has to have something, even though we know it does not.
Yeah, and I think Kipp is going to be making up some time here from that.
Well, I still say Ross is going to have actually a lead, because Kipp will probably check Gauntlet, and he has to go check Waterway. So it's going to be pretty close as they both enter a suitless Meridia.
Yeah, although with how the suits are distributed, Kipp knows that a suit can't be at Gauntlet. So... But he's going there anyways, yeah. Yeah,
he can't, or he's not risking ice being here. Although I still, chat mentioning it was a fine play, I think. It's just risk versus reward, really, and I think Kipp just doesn't want to take risks in the situation, since he knows he's the faster runner.
And Kipp will be having a faster check here, and I think Ross will probably be having a faster grapple check here too.
Yep. That speed booster making the grapple check much faster. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what the route Kipp will take after grabbing Screw Attack. Now, Rossu's not saving here. He just thinks that there's going to be an item here. Just be disappointed to see yet another E-Tank. And now Rossu knows where to go.
Yeah, and I'm noticing Kipp laying a power bomb down. Ross with one of my favorite mock balls in the game.
That's pretty much the consensus best mock ball in the game, I think, for most people. Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate for Kipp. I mean, he's showing that he might be doing a chargeless plan, but given how they've had to check every location, it's now more likely that they actually find the charge beam. Yeah, Kipp looks like he's just gonna go Waterway through the front door and bring Brinstar.
Yep.
And actually, Rossu's going to have a significant lead, a much bigger lead than I thought, because he's checked everything. So it's only straight to Mama Turtle for him, and he's right here. He just has to go up the elevator.
And we saw him earlier doing the spring ball jump in midair. No, what am I saying? Yeah, Ross did check Edacoons, right?
Yeah, he's checked everything. Like just by pure routing, because remember Ross, I think lost quite a lot of. He had lost time doing the sponge bath, and just in general movement, he was a little slower. But just shows how much routing can make a difference, especially if it's a slow seed. unfortunately, the fish trolling him. It's going to have to reset this spring ball jump.
Really tight jump there for Ross.
Yeah, I always... Ooh, rossu actually taking a spring ball jump here. I mean, normally what I do is you have to run from very left of that platform. Might have lost a little bit of time there.
Yeah, but it's working for Ross now, so...
Yeah. I mean, Kipp is now hot on his heels. Ross is going to have a couple minutes of a lead right now.
And can this item be either Gravity or Varia?
It can be one of the suits or Ice Beam.
Okay.
Yeah, that spring ball, like, suitless Meridia doesn't happen often, but if you were able to double spring ball jump in the other room, that definitely saves a pretty large chunk of time. Like, several minutes, I'd say. Because moving through water is painfully slow. Suitless and Super Metroid. I'd say rossu definitely wants Ice Beam to be here. Since I know rossu's speed Zeb skip is not as consistent as Kipp's. Honestly, not very consistent at all, from what I remember.
Oh, Gravity.
And Gravity, that's the second best, best and second thing he could find.
Well, that means no more suitless. And that's good for... Well, we'll be able to see them speed through the water.
Yeah, so we know that Various suit now has to be somewhere else in Meridia. Yeah, no, if it was Varia, I might have thought that Kipp was winning right there. Because Kipp is so good at doing a suitless Meridia. And rossu is... Looks like he is going to check Sandpit.
Or he could be taking the save because his ammo is kind of iffy for Botwoon. Yeah, he's checking Sandpit. Oh, what did Kipp do there? Kipp took a shorter way to get to Mama Turtle than rossu did.
I think I missed it, but I guess he did the double spring ball jump then. Okay, and rossu's going to reset at the Sandpit.
He came down through the door, like just above where the blue fish is.
Kipp is picking up more missiles. This has not been a very friendly seed for supers. Aqueduct has 2 more missile packs too. I think, yeah, rossu is definitely wanting Charge Beam here. And also, looks like he was not comfortable enough with his ammo for Botwoon. Which is a little unfortunate, as this is going to cost him some time here.
Yeah, Kipp is running hot on the trail. Probably won't be refilling because with 19 supers won't need to check.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very close race. And Kipp is not checking Sandpit. So right now, we are neck and neck. Although rossu does have the advantage of knowing what Sandpit is. Well, I feel like here it's more reasonable what rossu did, just because he's checked every location. So if Vera is not at Draygon or Botwoon, then the routing becomes easier if you know what's at Sandpit, since you can do Plasma and then Shackful.
Looks like Kipp had a quicker fight.
So yeah, rossu now doesn't want Vera to be... Well,
Ooh.
okay, right as I say it, it's here.
Wow.
So now we are looking for Charge Beam. Oh, and rossu loses a spark too, and Kipp is looks like he got the full halfie.
More power bombs.
Interesting. I'm actually not positive why he picked that up.
We're gonna have dueling Draygon fights here.
Yep, and thankfully for, well, rossu more so, they do have a very fast way of killing Draygon with the grapple beam. But I would not be surprised for Kipp to just do any percent strats with the speed booster.
Yeah, rossu likes going for the speed kill too.
And now rossu's going to use the... Ooh, gets that goop, actually, at the last moment. So rossu actually taking down Draygon first. But Kipp
Right
is
behind
able
him,
to get the
yeah.
blue suit, though, which is a difference maker. Trying to get the spike suit that he does. Very nice.
Ooh, and there's ice.
That's really good for rossu, for sure. He really wanted to see that ice beam. Saves him ammo. Like, he's definitely good for ammo if he finds charge beam.
Yeah, at this point, Ross is definitely betting on charge beam. Even although, yeah, Kipp doesn't have enough ammo for regular Mother Brain either, so at this point they're both betting on it.
Well, Kipp is definitely leaving Meridia, but rossu might... We'll see. He might check Plasma for charge, and looks like he is. And Kipp is probably just going to route Sandpit, yeah, on the way down to Lower Norfair. So if rossu finds Plasma, finds charge at Plasma, this is going to put him into the lead. I am really curious to see what the ammo ratio is for this seed.
Yeah, Kipp picking up both of those missile packs at looks like he's not going to Sandpit.
Interesting. That's actually a little surprising, considering there's an ammo pack there too. Oh, he's gonna check. Wow, he's just gonna commit. Okay, interesting. Oh, and just bombs.
You think Ross goes to check Shack Tool?
Oh man, I don't know about Shack Tool. I mean, for a suit, of course, but for just charge beam, I mean, rossu might have to do it because his ammo is so low. But yeah, Shack Tool is never something you want to have to do. And this might be the rare time we see someone with over 100 missiles.
Oh, there's some supers.
That's the best watering hole I've ever seen. Double supers. He still needs, I believe... Let's see, I know it's 85-45. So he needs 3 more super packs.
Well, Chad is saying that's enough, I think.
I mean,
No?
it's enough, but he would have to refill with this ammo.
Yeah, Rossu is going going to Shack Tool. Nice. And yeah, Shack Tool's a pretty iffy check. We'll see if it pays off. It would pay off if it's charge.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is charge, we'll have to see what the ammo holds. But Kipp's, I think, already taken the lead, even if this is charge.
Uh-oh.
Rossu, that's not something you see every day.
Oh, the accidental Shack Tool kill. That's not good. That took at least 30-40 seconds off the time
Yeah.
there.
I don't think Shack Tool's very happy with what Rossu just did. And Kipp in a setup for... Wow, and actually, that's a rare love dive miss from Kipp. It's going to reset, and... Yep, Shack Tool did not have the goods today. Shack Tool saying, this is what you get for killing me with speed echoes.
Yeah, so now Kipp has taken a really, really big lead.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, considering that they've checked everything, there's, like, no way Kipp can lose unless he takes a death. And, yep, Kipp is going to skip the GT check. So, I mean, banking on chargeless, there are enough minor item locations where, like, even if it's super trolly again, he will be able to barely squeak by with this ammo. And actually taking the time for Mickey Mouse, that's actually a little surprising. Not a check you see very often. But it pays off.
Yeah.
Supers.
Worthwhile check. Must not be that confident in ammo for Mother Brain. Definitely has more than enough for Ridley at this point too.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like that's one of the slower checks, so Kipp might have skipped it, but I guess it was just barely fast enough to go see. And I don't know about GT. GT can always troll you, and as we've seen from many runners, that gate glitch can eat up a lot of super missiles at any time, since Kipp will have to fight Ridley with just ammo. And actually, though, I'm a little surprised Kipp skipped Fire Fleas. It's not the biggest detour, because it could have been charged at Fire Fleas. But, I mean, Kipp has pretty good ammo for Ridley, so won't be the big issue here.
I definitely think he'll check it on his way out. Because he's still going for minors.
And there's 100 missiles for Kipp.
And I don't think Kipp will be farming here either, because with the missile count, he has more than enough to just go for it.
Yeah, he's got enough. We'll have to use some missiles, but of course he has a lot here. Yeah, and Ross is still committing to finding that charge. And that's not what you want to see. I don't know if he reset, but that's going to be a check he will not be able to see.
Yeah, and Ridley's down for Kipp.
Wow, and Kipp is just not even going for the check.
Yeah, charge has to be in one of two locations at this point.
Well,
3.
Yeah, just any of Lower Norfair, really. I mean, I respect what Kipp's doing, but I would not have the guts to skip Ridley.
Also checking fire fleas. Space jump.
And just space jump. Rossu actually...
yeah.
He actually still needs a super missile, because there is a green door up ahead.
We see a door transition high five there.
Yep, Kipp also not bothering with fire fleas.
And this is why I would have checked Ridley. If you're gonna even look at that ammo.
Well, I mean, to be fair, actually, Kipp has a much better reason, because he's skipped, Plasma and Shack Tool. So in his mind, charge could still be at those locations. And Kipp finding a very convenient super missile at the escape, so he is good now for ammo. Like, it's not a combination you have very often, but... Well, now it's 105 and 40 is more than enough for Turian.
I was just noticing something. Ross says... Does he have enough ammo for Ridley?
Yes, but he will have to use power bombs.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not a very comfortable fight for Rossu.
And those gold pirates being very generous with super missile drops.
And Kipp actually still wanting to check a few more locations. Gets more supers.
Yeah.
He should be happy with that. This is quite a lot, actually, over what he needed. If you have 45 supers, he only needs 85 missiles. And he has Ice Beam. I mean, not that he couldn't do Speed Step Skip anyway. I mean, I'm really not sure what Kipp thinks about the race, whether he's ahead. Because in his mind, Rossu could have easily picked up Charge Beam at, like, Sandpit, or even Plasma Beam.
Yeah. Did Ross take this save before Ridley?
I would not think so. Like, Rossu is... I mean, I imagine he can't feel very good right now. With, not finding that target name.
Yeah.
So, Rossu, with his ammo, he has... he's gonna need 5 supers of damage from his power bombs, so yeah, that's gonna be... He's gonna need to use, like, around 10 of his power bombs.
I think Ross is waiting to get Ridley to change colors before he finishes off with the super missiles.
Yep. And it looks like he's getting a good setup for the power bombs. Basically, what you want to do is lay it right in the middle as Ridley is swooping to get the double hit. And he's almost there. Alright, he's gonna start unloading supers now.
Sometimes Ridley just does not like to cooperate.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he might have missed a super already. Oh no, he missed super there. But okay, he's fine.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Alright. He barely had enough. And let's see if Rossu gets bailed out. I mean, he knows this is a 50-50.
Ooh, so
And
GT.
Yep. That's the nail in the coffin for Rossu. I think this actually happened in one of his like regular season matches where he had to double dip to get to Golden Chorizo. Yeah, I mean, Kipp still would have won, I think, but it would have been a pretty close race. If Rossu was able to pick up that charge.
I think he was going to farm super missiles from those gold Chorizos.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he has
pirates.
to do the gate glitch. Or you could do the vanilla GT fight, but not something you ever would really want to do in a randomizer. And Kipp doing the baby skip. I imagine he would play it safe and refill his missiles too on the doors.
No, he's going this way.
Yeah, I mean, he has space jump at least, so
Yeah.
doing this reverse path isn't the worst.
I've never seen the first path from this perspective, so.
And Rossu... Okay, never mind. This is actually... Well, yeah, you don't see this route. Although I don't know why he's checking Mickey Mouse. Looks like he'll grab a couple extra supers. But, the Crumble Room of Shame coming up for Rossu, although he's doing it intentionally to get back to GT.
At this point, it might be Even more shame because of having to go back this way.
Kipp having a bit of problem on Zebskip. I mean, it's happened to me all the time. It's very finicky.
And there we go.
Come on, Rossi, you got this. There you go. Also, we're gonna probably see a rare reverse lava dive too from Rossi, since might as well just leave that way.
It's one missed missile for Kipp.
Yeah, Kipp's also smartly saving his supers for the catch-up phase.
I think I saw the ammo count going in here, 96-33, so has plenty of potential for, I mean, not potential, what's the word? Plenty of room for being able to miss.
Yeah, several supers of leeway.
Yeah, that should do it.
And Kipp actually having to damp himself down a lot, having so many E-tanks. Looks like he already turned off very suit preemptively.
I was gonna say, I thought he was going for stand-up, but then realized he would be pointless without charge. And Ross will be making his way to Torian while Kipp is finishing up here.
Yeah, the runners actually had a gentleman's agreement to forfeit the race if he didn't get to a Turian by the time the other runner finishes. So it'll be close, but Rossu should make it there in time.
He's be cutting it very close, I would say. And judging from how I've seen Ross play, since he has charge, I don't think he'll be taking the ship refill.
I mean, it depends. I just think naturally most runners would have the mindset to not want to play it out and kind of move on to the next race. But I'm totally fine with someone wanting to finish out the seed. I mean, it's the runners themselves made the decision to play all games of the match today. They could have easily just scheduled one of it and played game 2 at a later date. Kipp, in his escape, gets the last moonfall. And also gets the Behemoth Spark. And Rossu is barely going to make it to Turian before Kipp finishes.
It's looking like he's gonna be making it to Torian, like getting off the elevator as soon as Kipp gets into the ship there.
And we have an official done from Kipp with a time of 1 hour and 10 minutes flat. GG to Kipp. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, I don't recall seeing another suitless seed in the playoffs. There have not been any in Chozo. So yeah, I believe I think this is the first one.
Yeah, in playoffs, I think this is the first one I've seen.
See if Ross can get the baby skip. He has all the items he would want for it. And nice setup, and he gets it.
And it looks like Ross is going to forfeit here.
Oh, that's too bad. Although we'll soon see the ammo distribution. Alright, how many supers were there? Okay, there were 20. That is more than I thought there'd be. Only 6 power bomb packs.
And I think Kipp may have seen
40
them all.
missiles. Yeah, 40 missiles is a lot. But thankfully a lot of the supers were kind of stacked for the end.
Okay, so I think the next race will be... We'll be starting up pretty soon. We have it scheduled for 8:30.
Yeah, we'll probably just have a short intermission at the runner setup for Game 2, and we will be starting that when they're ready.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a little break while they get set up then.
Yep, we will see you guys. We'll be right back for Game 2.